All right. Hello, everyone. Let's see. Are we recording? We're recording. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of What's New Mama podcast. We are your hosts, Giselle and Amy.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. Okay. So we were talking about different topics to cover, and one thing that's pretty relevant for us right now, especially because there's been a lot of changes and like events that have occurred that has thrown us off routine. Um, Definitely me. I can't really speak necessarily for Amy, but definitely for me. So we wanted to talk about routines and schedules and what that looks like for us. We have different mom lives, right? Like
Yeah.
we have different things that we have to juggle, but I always tell Amy this, and I always look at it from this perspective. I feel like her job is a lot more stressful than what I have to do. Like, when we talked about like stay-at-home moms versus workforce moms, we still haven't really come up with like a good
A good
terminology,
term, yeah.
right? um, but I feel like with work, it's pretty like straightforward. Like, this is what I have to do. But when it comes to being a mom, I don't feel like it's that straightforward. And there's a lot of figuring out and getting crafty and creative and all these things that I'm not good at. So I look at Amy and like she'll send me pictures of things that she's doing with the kids, and I'm like, maybe I should be doing that with Derek. Like, so I wanted, we were talking about it. I think Amy should kick us off with what her routine is like. How does she stay organized with both kids and juggling everything while still trying to keep her sanity and make time for herself and her, relationship with her husband and her friends and family. So,
You're like, take it away.
take it away.
Well, first off, I want to say that for like with Sienna, when I first had her and I was a new mom, I did not have my shit together. I had no idea what to do with her to keep her entertained or like even how to get myself up and out of bed because I love to sleep. It's my thing. I don't like waking up early. That I'm not a morning person at
Yeah.
all. I struggle to be nice to people in the morning.
Are
I'm
you
sure other people can relate to that, but I'm just like, I have to eat. I have to have my coffee. Don't talk
Yeah.
to me. Like, I'm serious.
So you're one of those like, don't talk to me, don't come at me with anything until I
Yeah.
have a coffee or breakfast.
Something in my stomach because it's just not, I'm like really nasty.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Like, I just
Noted.
don't. I don't. It's just, if you don't, especially if you don't let me sleep in or do something to get my full night's rest, because another thing is that I don't go to sleep at like whatever 10
Yeah.
when the kids are ready to go to bed and they're
Yeah.
done. I'm watching TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm catching up on my shows because if I don't catch up on my shows, I'm like miserable. I need to have something where I just focus on,
Yeah.
my
You
anything
zone
but
out. You just zone
anything
out.
but
Yeah.
what happened
Yeah.
during the day or during the week.
Yeah. You
So
need
that's
that.
important too.
Okay.
But for my schedule, I don't have a set schedule. I kind of just try to tackle small things little by little. Like if I
Okay.
know I have to clean up, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna clean up the playroom today.
Uh-huh.
I'll do that and I'll focus just on that because if you try to do too much at
The whole
once,
house or anything.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like, no, that's not gonna happen. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm lazy or whatever. It's just
No, it's
I'm just trying to
balancing.
do little sections of everything, little by
Yeah.
little. I'm very big on making sure I watch the news every day.
Oh,
Also,
yeah?
I know
You
that
like to stay informed?
I just try to stay informed and then this has been running through my head. And I wanted to ask you because I don't know if you've been watching this, and I'm sure our listeners have.
The Russian stuff that's going on?
No, not the.
Oh.
I know this. That's very
Okay.
important, but like I know everybody's been watching the sub that went to go
Sub,
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
Titanic, the
Yeah.
Titan.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it blows
That's
my mind.
crazy.
Just this, that I was
That
just like,
people pay
oh
to
my
do
God.
that?
Yeah.
When you see the word death in the first page like 3 times alone?
No, it's not even about
No.
what you're signing off. I was just like, why would you put yourself in a can in the middle of the ocean that we have barely explored? We don't know what's under there. There's
The ocean
pressure, there's
terrifies
water, and it's like I don't
We've
know.
only uncovered, I think, like 20% of what's in there.
Yeah.
There's
So
animals and creatures that live in it. We have no idea what
I
they
was
are.
so into it this past week. I was just like, that's all I wanted to see was updates on how these people, if they actually made it. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, they didn't.
I
So
know. Sorry.
feel,
And
yeah, I feel bad that their families are
condolences to their
suffering.
family. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. These are real.
for
Like,
this
I know
choice.
we've seen the memes and we've
Oh
seen
my God.
like,
We're all
you
going to
know,
hell.
the jokes and all that stuff, but it's real people. Like, they lost their lives.
Yeah.
And, everybody like, oh, well, they signed a waiver and it said it and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but still, they're real
And I'm not
people.
sure if people are making fun of them because there's these rich people that just threw away all this money to go die.
No,
But
I
I'm
think
not
it's
sure
just,
what's
I think
wrong
it's
with
just
us.
the ridiculousness of you're going to put yourself, like you said, in a tin can down to go into the depths of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
That's just,
I don't know. Anyway.
I haven't been following it. I've been looking at the little things and I'm like, damn, these memes are terrible. But I'll
Yeah.
smirk because
we're going all straight to hell.
but I think that's the way that we have to deal with things too.
Yeah.
As like outsiders, you have to be able to like make jokes about it because shit is rough. Like, look at what's going on in Russia. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to that, and Tom's like, "Did you see like what's going on?" I was like, "No, what's going on?" And he's like telling me about it. I was like, "What? Why can't we just live?" Like, and I'm not even on some like kumbaya, let's all world peace, whatever. That'll be great. But I know that's not realistic. But can't we just like live to ourselves? Like, I'll be in here minding my business and just. But no, people want to take over and people want to, more power.
You can't control their ambitions. Yeah.
You know what it is that they don't have a daily schedule or regimen to keep their sanity. But no, I totally understand. Like, you need the distraction. Like,
so I go and I watch the news. I make sure at 6 o'clock I'm sitting watching news.
6
and then,
p.m. or 6 a.m.?
Yeah,
Oh, 6 p.m.
6
Because you said you don't do mornings.
I don't do the morning. So the morning is like maybe like the first 2 hours are a blur because I have to make them breakfast and I make sure that I have stuff
You're
on
in
here.
autopilot. Like, you're just like, all right,
feed the dog, do all that, let him out, and then I'm just like, I barely talk to the kids in the morning. It's pretty bad, actually. But I'm just like, shh, you're already annoying me. Shh, go sit down. But some days it's like that.
So are they morning people?
Oh my God, Sienna she's up at like 7, but she's trained herself where she's either reading a book or she goes off to her room to play with her stuffed animals, and she's just doing other stuff until I wake up.
Okay.
Which, by the way, now we have to hide like scissors or anything because she started cutting up her clothes.
What? Was she like making alterations?
Yes. Don't you like my shorts? I was like, oh my God. Luckily, the pants were like, they were getting like to a point where she was looking like high waters because they were like short or whatever. So I was fine with it. But I was like, so okay, funny. Hide scissors, hide markers, hide glues, everything, because she will make you a new outfit.
Yeah.
In the morning. Or cut her hair, God forbid.
Funny.
So
yeah, those will be pictures to remember.
Yeah. So she's pretty good about keeping herself occupied till I wake up. Because I tell her, dude, it's too early. Like, she'll be up by sometimes 6:30, and I'm like, no, I can't. And then Milo's like Vic? Me. Well, Vic, he's I
know he goes to work really early
in the morning. Sometimes, yeah. So he won't be home, or he'll go to the gym, and she'll keep herself entertained until he comes back.
Gotcha.
And then, since now he's working in the evenings, he'll come and he'll spend time with them. He'll make them breakfast. He'll get them ready, and then gives me that extra hour, half an hour to kind of like wake
snooze,
up,
or get yourself
wake up.
Yeah.
And then obviously the first thing I do is, I get myself ready, because if I'm not ready, I'm not dressed, or I'm unkempt for any reason, I feel like that the rest of the day. That kind of like carry that with me. Yeah. So that's very important. I wake up, I get dressed, I put makeup on if I want to, depending on the day, if I have to go out. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do in the morning. Like around, I want to say I have to be ready to feed them by 11:30. Lunch.
So this is on a weekend?
No, this is on a weekday. This is like every day. I'm telling you what I do every day
Well,
because
okay, yeah, because Sienna's not in school right now. So,
now, mm-hmm.
but when she was in school, you had to.
Victor would leave her at the bus stop and everything. He would take
Okay.
care of everything in the morning, give
Okay.
her lunch, prep her lunch, and do everything. Luckily, that's how it turned out to be in the last couple months, because before I would have to wake up, do all that, and I'm always rushing out the door because
we gotta catch the bus.
And I was, like I said, I'm not a morning person, so I would have to be like I would be rushing because it's really hard to get out of bed, and maybe that has something to do with just like
the late night,
just sleeping so late, also with hormones and just adjusting. I've been sweating pools at night now.
Oh yeah,
so I don't know if it's a hormonal thing, and I'm going to see the doctor about it, but I have no idea.
That was happening to me. I think it happens to every woman postpartum because your hormones are all crazy out of whack. But it was happening to me when I was in the middle of my PPD because I had the irregularity going on with my hormones. And they were like, yeah, that's why, because they're all out of whack. And I didn't have a period at that time because I was still breastfeeding. So maybe.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've been pretty regular with my period and everything, so I'm not sure. It might just be that I'm hitting premenopause,
oh my god,
that.
no.
I mean, I'm gonna be 37, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, I just sometimes it's just like a pool of sweat and I'm like, ugh.
Do you have the AC going?
Yeah, we have the AC going. I'm gonna need a fan soon.
Well, what do you have? What do you sleep like?
It's the thing. I sleep with a weighted blanket, which is another thing. I love my weighted blanket.
People everywhere, like mystery solved.
Weighted blanket, and then obviously I'm still sleeping with Milo. So
he has body heat.
Yeah, and he sleeps on top of me. Like he's gonna be that annoying husband where he puts his feet up people's shirt because he has his feet up my shirt at night, like keeping his feet warm. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? It's funny. He started doing that recently. Yeah. And it's like he crawls up his feet to my back and he just has them there all night. And I'm like, oh my God. You're gonna be that annoying husband with your cold ass feet.
Well, okay, so it's not that big of a mystery.
Yeah, it's the weighted blanket. Yeah, but I take it off and then I'm still like, I just have like this like sofocal right here.
But you also have a child that's right here.
Yeah, I push him off all the time, but I don't know. I'll find out what's going on.
All right, keep us posted. Okay, so we got morning routine down. That was when they were going to school.
Where I don't speak.
You don't speak, but you go through the motions and you get things done.
Yeah.
But what do you do? So, okay, Sienna goes to school and then Milo stays with you right now, right? Next year, I think that's going to change, or?
No, next year he's still staying with me. I mean, we'll do like, if we do class, we'll go to class.
Okay. Yeah, you'll go to classes at like, music session and all that stuff. But so what does that look like? Like, how do you keep Milo entertained? Because he's not doing naps anymore.
Oh God, no, he's not doing naps anymore. He stopped that like a few months ago, actually.
Okay.
Now, so he's very easy to entertain, I find. Okay. He has he likes playing with his Hot Wheels. Okay. You got him, I think it was you who got him like some color changing ones.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He is into that. So I'll set him like a water bin with warm water and cold water. And he'll just spend the whole time back and forth. And I'm just like, all right. So I'll set him up to do that. And I'll quickly go and do whatever I need to do. Either wash dishes or like start prepping for dinner, take out the stuff for dinner, and then clean up the whatever. Any mess that they left behind from the morning is cleaned up while he's doing that, or whatever I set him up with to play. And then, he could stay there for hours. So usually I'll sit down and I'll either read, do TikTok scrolling for a little bit, or knit, which is something I like to do. I've made a blanket.
You
two
made a
stuffed
cardigan.
Animals. Yeah, I made 2 stuffed animals this past...
Stuffed animals?
Yeah, I make stuffed animals. Oh.
I want to see.
I have a puppy. I'm making a dino. Okay. Which is actually supposed to be for Derek. I'm sending it to you guys.
Thank you.
Almost done with it, and then I'm gonna make a blanket for my living room to match the decor in
Yeah.
there. So
You have
I just
gray, right, in the living room?
yeah,
Okay.
everything's gray, and I have a yellow sofa, which
Okay.
is
Nice pop of
probably a
color.
good thing. And
Yeah.
another thing is I have to clean the sofas this week actually
Do
because the
you deep
kids.
clean, like power clean them?
No, luckily we get the ones that unzip. And I could take
So you
off
could
the
take
covers
the
and
cover.
wash them because
That's
the kids
smart.
spill everything, everything. That's starting to look pretty nasty now.
And it's a bright color so you can see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do you think it's better to have those type of sofas or leather
I
with
don't like
kids?
leather. Leather because they can easily scratch them and
Okay.
you know,
I don't like leather either, but
I'm trying to think and then your legs stick to it. I don't know. That's what
I
I keep
hate the
thinking.
feeling of cold. Like I always have blankets on the couch because we have leather couches. I don't like leather couches, but that was one of those you pick and choose your battles, and we have to compromise because you're married and all that stuff. I was
Oh,
like, okay, we'll do, whatever. But I sit there and I hate when it
that's for
sticks
you,
to me.
Tom.
Yeah. But I get to do everything else, so I was like, whatever. But they are nice. But I just hate like the feeling of the leather on my
Like
skin.
sticking. That's what I'm saying. It's like
I
the
hate
stickiness
it.
when you get up
Hate it.
or if you're sweating for any reason.
Yeah. And I put coconut oil on my entire body.
Hmm.
So as you
Oh,
can
you slipping
see,
and sliding
it's
everywhere.
like but it sticks even more. So I have to put blankets down before
Hmm.
I sit down. If I'm like this, if I'm covered, then no big deal.
Hmm.
But yeah, okay. So I think
Yeah, I
those are
do the
better
ones
when you
that
have
are you
kids.
unzip, yeah, and just wash because
Yeah.
they don't know. You could as much as you want to tell them, don't spill, don't do
Yeah.
this, don't do that. It's not gonna happen. They don't have the dexterity to not spill
No.
something or
No.
whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm like whatever. At this point, we're gonna get nice couches when they like hit 7 and up,
Yeah.
is what we
Okay.
said. So we said like maybe in the next year or two we'll get a new set of couches that we'll know they'll be able to,
How
because we
how
do
long?
everything.
Well, go ahead.
What happened?
No, go ahead. I was
I
gonna
said
say,
we
how
do
long have you had those for?
2015, 2016 before Sienna.
Okay. Okay.
Before Sienna, which
So
is
what were you
funny.
gonna? What were we gonna say that you do everything?
Oh, we live on those couches. We do everything on those couches. So it's
Gotcha.
like, they eat there and whatever. And I know people probably gonna be like, "Ugh, you don't sit your kids at the table." It doesn't work
We eat on the
sometimes.
couch.
We eat on the couch.
No.
I mean, we try the table once in a while when they're in a mood where they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Let's go eat on the table." And
Yeah.
Sienna will set the table and
Yeah.
do all that. Um, that's when we eat at the table. But otherwise, they're mostly sitting on the couch. We have a little desk for Milo,
Okay.
where he sits and eats because he's a little messier.
Yeah.
And then Sienna likes to sit on the couch.
Okay.
It's just her thing.
Okay. So, all right. So that's afternoon into dinner time. But
In dinner
then,
time, yeah.
what do you do to make time for you and for your spouse and your friends? Like, how do you keep that going?
I mean, I'm obviously texting during the day.
Yeah.
We
And
text
sending memes.
and sending stuff and just talking. I'm trying to think. With Vic, it's hard during the week because
Your schedule.
he's been working, like I said, like 10, he leaves the house at 10 a.m. and then he comes back and it's almost midnight.
Yeah. It's
Because
hard.
he takes the long train. And by the time he comes home, I can't even wait for him. I'm sleeping already. So I don't
Yeah.
even see him until the next day. So there's days that he'll come home early. Like he makes
Yeah.
an effort to just try to do everything he needs to do to come home early. And then we'll spend time, we'll watch TV, we'll catch up, we'll do whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, we catch up the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's usually
That's
what we
crazy.
try to
He
do.
gets home at 12 and then he wakes up early still
I mean,
to like,
I don't, like, since I've been with him,
yeah.
he's never really been a late sleeper.
Okay.
He's always waking up. He's had a hard time always sleeping. So he only
Yeah.
sleeps like 5-6 hours at best.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he's always been like, he's a morning person. So
Yeah.
he does a lot during the morning. Even
Yeah.
when we first got married, he would get up, go to the gym, go do the shopping,
Yeah.
and like errands, and then he'd be back by like 9 a.m. and
And
that's
you're
when I'm
just
getting
waking
up.
up.
And that's when I'd be waking up, and we'll go on our day that way. And it works. It works out for us that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's similar to us. Like I'm a morning person. Tom is no. But I haven't been like sleeping recently, so that's been affecting that. But like I told you, like so. Oh wait, no. So finish telling me your routine. Like so, what is one thing that you have to do in order to keep your sanity? With stressful week, the school week work, you know, you have to help the kids with homework. I know Vic sometimes helps them with homework, right? Like, but like
He'll do like practice words in the morning with her.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So what do you do that it's like, all right, I need to sit down, I need to have this moment in order to survive the rest of the week coming up, right?
I make sure that when I'm feeding the kids, I have to sit down to eat with them. Because otherwise I don't.
You don't eat.
I won't be able to get a chance to sit and actually enjoy my food hot. And
Gotcha.
I try to make my time like, okay,
Okay.
make sure that if I'm cooking two separate things for them, like one
Yeah.
thing, because they're so picky. Well,
Yeah.
Sienna is, so I'll make
Yeah.
her whatever, and then my food, I'll try to make it so it's like at the same time.
Okay.
And I have to sit down, and that's when I'll relax and I'll eat my food warm.
Yeah, yeah.
Because otherwise I'm mad.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
that's
make sure like that's important to me to get the nourishment and then just to sit down and
Yeah.
relax for that. It doesn't matter. I won't like even if I have a mess in the kitchen, I'll worry about that later.
okay.
Because I take care of that after the kids go to sleep. I'll come down, wash all that, go take a shower. And taking a shower and making sure that I take those 20 minutes just to prep for nighttime, that's
Yeah.
important too. I try not to skip any of that.
So how do you find time to do that?
The-
Like your shower, like
Well,
your
usually, because Milo sleeps with me, so I have to like set him to sleep, and I trick him to think that I'm next to him by setting some pillows sometimes, or like
Yeah.
a stuffy, and put
Yeah.
his hand over it so he
Yeah.
thinks it's me. And then I'll escape, and I usually have 2-3 hours before he actually wakes up,
Realizes
and
you're not there.
realizes like, oh wait, that's not mom.
Yeah.
So I'll set him to
I can't
sleep.
put my feet up this stuffy shirt.
But like, I think 2 hours is enough.
Okay.
So I usually go take a shower, do whatever I have to do, clean downstairs and clean up the mess that they usually make in the afternoon. 'Cause
Yeah.
they take out every single toy. I've tried asking them to put stuff away. Sienna's the only one who puts her things away.
Yeah.
But
But
Milo's,
she's old enough to understand that.
Milo
Yeah.
will help to an extent, and then he'll just be like, "Nah, I'm gonna go sit down." And it's
Or
like,
he'll get
okay.
distracted and probably grab something else, right?
Yeah, he starts taking things out instead when he realizes, oh, that's where that is.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay. So I make sure that, I set them to sleep and I clean everything downstairs, come upstairs, and I make sure it's time for me. And then I'll do, I've been doing stretches.
Yeah.
Remember
Oh
I was
yeah, I
telling you?
FaceTimed you yesterday and you were in the middle of your stretches.
Anytime that I can get to myself, I'll try to do the stretches. It's like a stress thing for me, and it like releases it from my shoulders and just my body in general. And I've just been feeling much more energized doing that. So
good. Yeah, because you're getting blood flowing and oxygen flowing,
especially on my back, because I don't know, I'm sure the mamas that are listening to us, I carry all my stress here because I'm always hovering over the kids or doing something, reading,
or we're constantly like this, like
so so I've been doing those stretches, and that really, really helps relax me. And usually what happened?
That's that lady, right? The stretches that you talked about.
The workout witch, yeah, she does somatic exercises.
I don't know if we included that in the last episode that you mentioned. That we should definitely include it now in case anybody wants to do the stretches and stuff. She does. That's helping you with energy. That's great.
Yeah, it has, and it's just been very good because I have like a lot of knots on my shoulder blades, and yesterday was the first time I was like, "Ooh, it's not tight."
Yeah,
like I feel like somebody's just pulling me from back there like this, and I'm just starting. My shoulders reach my ears sometimes of how stressed I am. Like I'm walking around like this.
Really?
Sometimes, and it's hard for me to push them down. See, like if I push them down, push them back, you can see my neck now. But you don't see me that I'm sitting like this sometimes.
I never noticed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. See?
Wow.
I'm already up here. Yeah.
So you carry your stress here.
On my,
and I carry my stress here.
Yeah.
Like I clench and I grind. So I sleep with a mouth guard.
I've been doing that too. So it's starting to travel up. this way.
It's going slowly
Yeah.
up.
So I had to sleep with the mouth guard too recently because I told you I cracked my
Yeah.
tooth
Yeah.
in my sleep.
That
I
happened
had
to
to
me
go
once.
get that fixed.
Yeah.
And
I chipped it. I didn't crack it.
yeah, well,
But
I don't know what the hell I did. It's the back of my canine. The whole thing just came off. And the guy was like,
the one over here, this
yeah,
one?
that one.
Oh
That
my
one.
God.
This one in the back. It was gone.
Like a slice, like half.
Yeah, and it was like a hole. And he checked it. He goes, "You don't have a cavity. There's nothing wrong with your tooth." I was like, "Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm clenching." And he's like, "We need to do something about this." So he just filled it, and it's filled.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's essentially a cavity. That's a hole.
It was a hole. Yeah, it was just a hole. But like no like black stuff or anything. And he
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like a cavity or something that I was growing and it fell out or like it's
Yeah.
decay or something. I don't know. I was just like, no, dude. I'm telling you, I'm clenching.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking of getting Botox because that's the treatment for TMJ because it's supposed to relax the muscles on the side
I
so
see.
that you don't clench.
Oh, and I see a chiropractor. I
That
see a
too.
chiropractor.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
And that helps a lot. They do. It's not like what people think when they think
It's like,
chiropractor, where and they're like
yeah.
breaking you in pieces. Because that could be dangerous if they're not manipulating it correctly.
Yeah.
Because it can really hurt you.
Yeah.
They use the office that I go to uses the torque release method. It's just like a little tool, and they hit like the areas with a little tool. So it's like a little jab, and it goes tick, and then it like pushes. Like they do it on my spine,
Uh-huh.
and they'll push the little bone in a little bit.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt?
It doesn't hurt. It'll get the muscles around the spine will feel tender after they do that. But I feel such
That's
a relief.
interesting.
You feel it. And like they crack you a little bit. They've cracked my back. They always crack my shoulders. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
Every time I go.
Do you crack this?
Mm-mm.
This
No.
I do on my own, and like you can hear it. Like it's like, and I was like, "Whoa!" Tom's like, "What the hell was that?" And I'm like, I forget whatever you call this. I forget this.
The sternum?
The sternum. Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's your sternum. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So wait, so you go and they do this little, I
Like
wonder
a
what
little
that device
machine.
is.
It's I know the name. They go and they explain everything to you.
Yeah.
So I forgot. I don't know what it's called, but I could link the place that I go to down
Do you
below,
want to
so
link that, or do you?
No, because it's farther away from me, but it's
Okay.
good because they do a good job. They took care of me when I was pregnant. I had sciatica, and
Gotcha.
it was great. They did like such a good job. I was practically getting massages there. Like the lady would do it. Like she would.
Yeah.
It was, oh man, I just thinking about it. It was so nice when they took care of me when I was pregnant with all the pain, aches and pains of your body. But I was trying to tell you, I do it for TMJ. So they'll hit, like they open your mouth to see, they look at your jaw and which way it's moving, if it's shifting in one way or the other. And they've been adjusting me on this side here because my jaw opens more towards this way, I think it was, or this way. This way.
Okay.
Goes this way, so it'll shift this way. And I don't have that clicking sound anymore.
Yeah, the clicking sound?
Yeah, I open my mouth and it would be like in the morning, it'd be like click, 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 click. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna, like my fear is that my mouth is gonna stay open.
Oh my God.
Or fall off. So,
Okay.
so I get this adjusted here, and this whole thing was hurting. It was like my face will be tender from the adjustment that they do. So they do it over their hand because if they do it directly with the tool, it'll hurt. Yeah, it's too aggressive. And the kids get adjusted too.
Really?
Because they're growing. You want to give them that care for their. It also helps with like your nervous system and your spine.
Mm-hmm. So wait, so when
everything's connected.
So when you go, do you have your own session and then bring them back for their session, or do you do their session together?
Yeah, we all go together.
Okay. And you're able to actually relax and like enjoy yourself, even though.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. It's like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's like a 30-minute.
No. It's a 5-minute thing.
Oh,
it doesn't take. Okay. They don't try to adjust you too much because if you do too much, you send your body into a nervous you'll tense up more. Yeah. So we only do a section every time you go.
I have no idea about
And I
any of
keep
that
it, I
stuff.
go maintenance because obviously I had scoliosis growing up, and my
Okay.
spine was curved.
Okay.
So I try to keep going to this thing.
Yeah. Do you do like yoga or anything, or have you thought about it?
They actually opened up a Pilates studio down the street on Main Street.
Oh,
Yeah, it's brand new. And I thought I was gonna go check it out maybe during the
yeah.
week.
And that'll be good for your pelvic floor too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because I
they
know
have a
you've been
special
doing those.
class for parenthood, I think it's
Yeah.
called.
Okay.
So I might try to do that in the mornings when Vic is here
Okay.
because they open at like 7, which is going to be a struggle. I know.
So you're gonna have to wake up
And I
early.
was like, "Oh, God, I'm gonna have to go early."
Yeah. Well, you'll adjust. You'll adjust. Ah, pun intended. No, you'll adjust. You'll adjust. Like you once you get into that routine, you're like, oh my God, this is I can't function unless I wake up early and do this. Because that's what I do. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's my routine. That's what I do for me and my sanity. Like I have to wake up extra early in
Mm-hmm.
order to be able to work out in the morning, which is why I'm like dressed like this. Work out in the morning and while they're sleeping. Because if not, I won't I won't get it done. Sometimes I manage to go to the gym, like at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the workday or on my lunch break or something. I'll do that. But that morning time when there's no kid running around, there's, Tom is still sleeping, I don't feel guilty. Because that's a
Mm-hmm.
big part of it. Like I don't feel guilty for taking that moment to myself because they're still sleeping. They're
Mm-hmm.
relaxing. They're enjoying their bedtime, right? But that's what I end up doing. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did I take away? No,
No,
this
no,
is
no.
like you
Keep
finished
rolling.
your routine, right?
Yeah, I finished my routine. Go ahead. I thought you were
No.
starting.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought that was like a good segue into like,
Mm-hmm.
well,
No,
that's
yeah, go
actually what I
ahead.
do. Um, but no, so for me, my morning routine, so slightly different, right? Because I have
I'm glad
my
that we're opposites because imagine you were doing the exact same thing I was. People be like, ew.
no, so I have to wake up. Usually, I have like an 8 a.m. team meeting video call that I have to like get ready for.
Hmm. I
So
don't miss
like
those days.
that's always like I have to be in the shower, getting ready, dressed, so that 8 a.m. I'm good to go.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So I've had to wake up at so I set my alarm for 6. Sometimes I've set it for like 5:30,
Hmm.
but there's times that I'm like, "Ah, I'm so tired." And like the week of my period, forget about it. Like
Hmm.
I'm not doing a 5:30, 6 a.m. wake up call. I'll do maybe 6:30, 6:45, and I'll work out for 20 minutes in
Hmm.
those short, like the days that I wake up later. But the days that I'm able to wake up at 6:15, I'll do 45 minutes at least, right? And I'll do like weight training. I have like weights here. I have my mat. Like it's all like over here. So that's what I'm looking at. And I'll take that moment to myself, whether it's like, leg, I'll do like slight leg workout for like 20 minutes. Then I'll do arms and back for another 20 and then stretching.
Hmm.
When I do that, I feel like even if I have a stressful day at work or, Derek is being a toddler and like regulating his emotions, I'm able to regulate my emotions better. And I'm
Hmm.
able to not let things stress me out as much because I had that endorphin kick in the morning and it's keeping me regulated throughout the day.
Hmm.
So I need that in order to survive like the day and the week and all of that stuff. And it's funny because Tom can tell. Like there's days that I'll be super stressed with work and or like whatever it is, like something happens and he's like, did you work out this morning? And I was like, no, I didn't get a chance to. I was so tired and I had to rush to shower and blah blah. He's like, you should go to the gym later. You should go. You need to go to the gym. But we'll do that for one another. Like we'll hold each other accountable in the sense like, no, go to the gym. Like you need it. Like
Hmm.
yesterday, I think I told you we were gonna record, but he had a rough day and I was like, go to the gym,
Hmm.
go take that moment to yourself and we'll figure it out, right? Um, so that's usually how I start my day, right? Either I sleep in, and by sleeping in, it's like 7:15.
Hmm.
Because if not, I won't make that call. Like I won't be able to put on my camera or anything. Um, and then Tom has taken over breakfast for the baby. But usually, like, I'll wake up and I'm like, I hug him, I'll kiss him, get him from the crib, I'll change his diaper if like I have the time, if I'm out of the shower. Um, and then I'm trying to think, because like it all depends on whether or not he slept well, right? Like
Yeah, it depends on their moods
if
too a
Derek
lot.
had a rough night, that means we had a rough night.
Yeah.
Um, because we're both before when I wasn't working, it was like I'm gonna take it. Like whatever it is, like if he wakes up, I'll get up
Mm-hmm.
from the crib
Yeah.
and I'll sit with him and I'll soothe him and all this stuff. Now it's we'll take turns. And most of the time now, if he wakes up cranky or like whatever it is, maybe he was cold, we'll bring him into the bed. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like we're like, let's just bring him into the bed. We're both tired. We need to wake up early. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
bring him in. So last night was one of those nights we brought him in. He woke up at like 4:15, 4:30, crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even remember if I got him or if Tom got him. I don't remember. But I think it was me. But some days I wake
Sleepwalking
up.
now.
Like you said, how you wake up in the morning, you're like on autopilot.
Yeah.
Those nights when that happens, like I don't even remember. Like sometimes I'm like, was it me or you that got him? I don't remember. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just what we do because it's just, and we'll grab the sound machine, bring it into the room, and then instantly Derek will nestle in to the
Yeah.
middle of the bed and like find his like spot. He loves it. So that's my morning. Tom will take care of breakfast. Weekends I try to take care of breakfast because he does it during the week. So breakfast as in I'm not a breakfast person. So like how
Mm-hmm.
you said you need your coffee, your food. No. I have my chug of water. This is like what I need. I'll take my wheatgrass
Mm-hmm.
and then my like Celsius that I'll do when I'm like working out and all this stuff and just to like give me that boost.
Mm-hmm.
And then green tea.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually what I do. Morning. I don't really eat breakfast. They do. Um, then Tom will go shower and then I'll watch the baby while I'm still like working and all that stuff because we'll put blocks. So like in this room, I work out of this room, so this will be my station. I put like blocks down below, right? And Derek will be pretty entertained and he'll just bring over like one of his little babies or his little animals for me to kiss
Mm-hmm.
occasionally. But other than that, he'll entertain himself there. On rough days where he's just not having it and he's not
Mm-hmm.
entertaining himself and he needs like one of us, we'll sit down for a bit. But if we have meetings, we'll put on Miss Rachel
Mm-hmm.
because, like, and you know, I know, screen time and all that stuff, but we have to. Like, we don't have anybody
The extra
else
hand. Yeah, exactly.
to help. And that's
Yeah.
just what works for us
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, it's hard. It's hard. And like sometimes we're like, that's enough. Like, all right, he's been on this for like 20 minutes. Let's cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Let's turn, whatever. But it'll give him time to go shower. If I have a work call, like I'll be able to focus on my work and do all that. And he's learning, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And it's funny
Yeah, it's not
because
like bad TV.
yeah. And it's so funny. Like, he is legit learning so much from Miss Rachel that, like, Tom and I talk about all the time. Like, we've been doing, like, flashcards and, like, all these things. And he's learning colors and numbers and all of that to the point where if you've seen Miss Rachel, right?
No, I haven't watched her.
No?
Actually, haven't put her on for him. No.
So she does a lot of phonetics and, like, sounding it out. And what she'll do, like, f, f, and, like, she'll put emphasis on her mouth. And she'll go, and that. So whenever I tell Derek, how do you say G or G for goat or giraffe? And he's like, G, G. Like he'll do that.
The motion too.
Yeah. And like the cat, he'll go, K, K. And like he'll do the emphasis and I'm like, oh my God, look at him. So Miss Rachel, she is a godsend. Anybody that is out there that needs doesn't have an extra hand and it's like what can I play for them, that's definitely helped us a lot. And you don't feel crappy, you don't feel as a crappy parent because they're watching something that's helping their development. And then obviously he's learning Spanish too, so like he understands it and he'll say certain words in Spanish, especially when he talks to abuela. And my mom's like, ay mira, está diciendo blah 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 blah. So like I feel guilty in one sense, but then I'm like, I have my morning routine. We'll pop in Miss Rachel as need be. to go through our day because we still have our responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't overdo it. Like we usually sit down, play with him, and we'll do all that stuff. My day is not as complex. Like that's why I wanted you to start because I know that you have a lot more structure in what you do. Because my day, the bulk of it is meetings, clients. Sometimes I have to go all the way to freaking Queens and the city.
What
And
do you do when you have to go out? Like
Tom, Tom
he
takes
stays with
over.
Derek.
Yeah. One time his mom came over and she was like, "This is great. I'm playing hooky and I'm having fun with my grandson." And it was nice because they got to go to the park and all of that. And now that, well, that was now because we've moved closer. But
Mm-hmm.
before we were really far away where that wasn't even an option. In order
Mm-hmm.
for grandma to come over, it would be an hour, 15, 20-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wasn't possible.
Mm-hmm.
So one time she came over, she stayed, but she works too. So she had to take a day off to like do that, but she also wanted to.
And
She's
she
like,
enjoyed it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. She's like, I needed this, you know? It made her feel good. And Derek had a blast with her. And it's nice because we were so far before that him not seeing abuela and grandma and all these people were like, is he gonna be like, get away from me? You know,
Mm,
like
yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
But as long as you're in his environment, you're his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but if we take him somewhere else, he's a very he's a slow to warm up type of kid. He'll wave and he'll send you besitos and all that stuff, but from afar.
Mm-hmm.
You try
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to like grab him, he's like he'll
Yeah.
actually
Sienna
like
was like that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like it's funny because my mom, I FaceTime her a lot with the baby and she's like, ay, mira, me está dando besitos, sí, pero si me acerco de él, me hace di que, like he'll put his elbow and like,
Mm-hmm.
push her away. But I'm like, yeah, because you come at him with the, he doesn't, he's not used to that. He's
Mm-hmm.
used to like quiet and peace and, all that. Another thing, activity that we've done. So like I know I was telling you too, like I would go to the library, go to classes with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would set it up in my work calendar so that
Mm-hmm.
my manager knew like this is a non-negotiable. Gonna go to music class, gonna go to ASL class with
Mm-hmm.
Derek, gonna go to story time because if I'm doing a full day of work, like I need to still make time. Like I chose to be a parent, so
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm choosing to go down this road. It's my responsibility to make time to be a present parent, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Um, so, because if not, like Tom, that's one of the conversations Tom and I had where it's like, if we can't handle the routine, the schedule, and all that stuff, that wouldn't be fair to
Mm-hmm.
like decide to have a kid and then all that stuff. But
Yeah, because
I,
it's not like a puppy or a dog. You could just like whatever,
right,
leave them
right,
there.
right, which is still
Which is still
problematic too.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I also understand everybody has different circumstances. Totally get it. Like you have to go to work, all that stuff. But we were talking about that. Like maybe we put him in a daycare, we put him in like a place, but we were like, oh, we can handle it right now. When we get to a point that we can't and we're really
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed, like maybe if we have another kid or, if I change jobs or he changed jobs and we're not working from home most of the time, because that's also an advantage that we have,
You
right?
guys are
Like
working from home. Yeah.
most of the time work from home. For me, Tom always works from home. But there's days, like you said, like I had to go into the city and go to Queens and go all over Westchester and do all this stuff. That's hard, and I feel really guilty
Mm-hmm.
whenever I do it, but it's not every day. And that's part of the job. Like we have a mortgage to pay. Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
what it is, you know. It's I have to compartmentalize it in my brain, and I think I dealing with the guilt of not being available 100% of the time is something that I still struggle with some days.
Mm-hmm.
Some days it's like whatever, like I'm doing what I gotta do, and other days I feel really shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I try to like even when I'm working, if I'm following up on emails and doing all this stuff, I'll have Derek here. He'll bring his coloring book, and I'll just turn off the camera. Like if I'm in a meeting, I'll turn off the camera. Sometimes he did pop up on camera, and they were just like, "Oh, hi, Derek."
Mm-hmm.
Not a
Mm-hmm.
big deal. But if it's with a client call, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Um, but he'll entertain himself with the coloring book and all of that. So we find a way to make it work. Then once the workday is over, like I said, we don't really have too big of a strenuous schedule. Tom will go to the gym because he is not a morning person. He will sleep in for as long as possible. He is the type, he needs his coffee. He needs to make his, we have like a French press. He needs to make 2 batches of that. He has his routine and his schedule. He'll have oatmeal and then he'll work and do all the stuff that he has to do, shower and blah, blah, blah. But he'll go to the gym after. I am the opposite. I need to get my workout done in the morning, not just because of the time that I have to myself, but I have that energy to do it in the morning. If I leave it for end of day, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I can't. Yeah. So I'm the opposite of you. Like, I feel how you feel in the morning towards the end of the day, where I'm like, I'm not gonna go work out right now. Like, Tab will push me. The days that I don't work out in the morning, he'll push me. He's like, Giselle, go to the gym. I'm really tired, but you'll feel better. Yeah. And it's true. Like, or even if I'll do like a quick 20-minute, 30-minute session here. Another thing that I do is I'll take like a 15-minute work break when it's like quiet. And I'll tell my manager, obviously, because I have 2 phones. I have my work phone, my regular phone, but I'll bring my work phone and I'll take Derek out for a walk if it's nice out. So we'll go out around, the neighborhood. We'll point out trees and birds and all of that. So that obviously helps with the guilt of me being into the computer all day working. And then he'll go down for a nap. He's still doing naps.
No, thank God.
He's doing 1 nap. I mean, I missed the days when it was 2.
2, I know.
Yeah. So I'm embracing that because that also gives us a moment. Like, there's times like we also try to make time for each other. And we have spontaneous moments during the week in the middle of like, hey, let's take a break real quick and like go and be together and whatever. So we'll do things like that to also prioritize the other. But like I said, like that's a privilege. So like if I ever do change jobs or anything like that, I'm not going to be able to be working from home and having that flexibility. So we're taking advantage of the time that we have now. Yeah. But what's the word? It doesn't escape me how lucky I am that that's what I'm doing. Because I've always worked retail and I've always been at the store. As a manager in retail, you have to be available. Weekends, forget about it. You have no weekends. You have no free time. And you're on your feet all day. You're running around, moving boxes, doing all this stuff. By the time you get home, you're shot. You don't want to go to the park. That's another thing that we do. We'll take them to the park. If we can end our day 15 minutes earlier, we'll go get whatever we need done, go to the park with the baby, and then we'll do that. So it's flexible. We don't do any hardcore schedule. We'll just play it by ear.
Because I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, because if not, you know what'll happen with me, and Tom knows this because he'll highlight it too. He's like, Giselle, you set unrealistic goals and expectations for the day, and then if you don't get everything checked off the list that I wanted to check off the list, I'll beat myself up for it. And that's just a personality thing that I have. I'm working through it, whatever. But now I'm like, you know what? I have a list. If I get to 2 of the 3 or 2 of the 4 things off the list, great. I'll do the priority, right? The rest of it can wait for tomorrow or the weekend or whatever it is. But priority is always getting the work done, obviously, making time to spend time with Derek and do something that's fully focused with him. That's another thing. I can't have playtime with him and then be on my work phone. Or be on my phone or on a work call or something like that. If I'm going to take the time to really be playing with him or present with him, that's what I'm going to do. Because if not, then I'm just half here, half there. So that's one of the things that I had to learn how to do. Because when I first started working, it was new. I've never worked and been a mom before. I've never had to do a regular job and then do this other job, right? So I had to learn how to juggle it. Before I was trying to do both. And then I got nothing like you get nothing accomplished.
Yeah.
So that's my daily. In the evening, simple, straightforward. I'll prep for dinner. Like sometimes on my lunch break, I'll make the chicken, right? Like I'll put it to defrost and whatever, and then I'll do that at least. Like one day my coworker was talking to me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm grilling chicken. I'm making lunch, but I'm also grilling chicken for dinner, you know, so that we can eat later." And he's like, "Oh, that's smart. That way you have everything like kind of done." But some days we'll just order. Like some days Tom's like, "You're tired. Like we'll just order food. Don't worry about it. I'll get pizza, you know, on my way back from the gym or whatever it is." So having that flexibility and not putting that pressure on myself. So if you're a mom out there listening, like not putting the pressure on yourself, I think is the most important thing that's going to keep your sanity, because otherwise you're just setting unrealistic expectations and then feeling crummy at the end of the day that,
or getting upset.
yeah, that you didn't get to all of the things that you wanted to do. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges for moms. Like one of the things that I saw the other day, it's like, why are we called working moms, but they're not called working dads? They're just dads, you know? And it's just like this double standard of this added pressure where I feel it and society puts it upon us, where if you are working a 9 to 5, you better be fully present as a mom all the time too. Like, oh, there's another thing. This just popped in my head. So my niece's graduation was the other day, and, you know, we were like, it was me, my brother, Jess, and like we were texting each other throughout, like as they were talking about things. But I realized this, and Aisha actually mentioned this. We love Aisha here. Aisha actually mentioned this in one of her postings the other day, how they were highlighting the moms that partake in bake sales.
I saw that. That made me so angry.
All these things. Yeah, so at my niece's graduation, they were highlighting like the moms that were always available, chaperoning trips and doing all these things. Listen, before I had a baby, I was chaperoning. I was showing up for story time, chaperoning trips for my niece and my nephew, like all, because Ava wasn't around yet at that time. But for the other two, I was there. I was taking days off of work just to go, because like those are my niece and nephew. I want to be present in their lives. And I'm also not doing the parenting full time. So I was able to have that flexibility and working retail. I would have weekdays off, weekends working. So I had the flexibility. So in the graduation, they were highlighting, oh, these two moms, they got an award because they were always available and they were always this. Yeah. And I just remember like my brother, Jess, and I, we had like a group chat and we were like texting like, you know, like memes and like expressions. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, how do you think that makes other moms feel that can't take a day off of work? Yeah. Because they have rent to pay or mortgage or all these things, or to provide food for their child. You know, granted, celebrate all moms. You have the time to do it. Totally get it. But from like what Aisha's post was, it was like the time difference. Like, I think it was an early morning bake session, like breakfast with mommy or muffins with mommy.
Muffins with mom.
And it was something with dad, lunch with dad, or
ice cream with dad.
Ice cream with dad. Yeah, it was ice cream with dad. And the dad one was at like 3:30. Or 4:00.
Yeah.
And then the mom one was at like 10 in the morning.
Right smack in the middle.
It's like a mom can't take, especially in her profession, like you can't just really take the morning off, you know, and then you make other moms feel crappy that can't just take this time off. So that's definitely something that I
and I'm a stay-at-home mom, but like at 11 o'clock, like some of the stuff that Sienna had going on, like I couldn't chaperone because I couldn't bring Milo with me. Who am I leaving him with?
Yeah.
Like, I have to find someone last minute, because most of the time these things were like done last minute, or they'll give you maybe like a week in advance for things. And I was just like, well, I can't do that, because I'm going to call my dad to drive a whole hour and 10 minutes to come up here to stay with him for like 2 hours and then have to go back. Yeah. And it's not, like,
there's a huge double standard. And then it's like, you know, you think of a dad and it's like, oh, the dad showed up to school and is partaking and all this stuff. Like, whenever people see Derek with Tom or whatever, like we joke about it. like if they see him on the weekend because I'm at the gym
Mm-hmm.
and Tom takes him to the park or something, we're like they probably think it's your weekend with with the kid or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But if they see me at the park with the baby, there's no storyline behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the
Mm-hmm.
mom with the baby. Um, but yeah, anyway, it's just one of those things that was highlighted during the graduation when they were giving these awards. And I was like, well, when Derek starts going to school, like that's something that I'm gonna have to learn how to navigate and not feel shitty about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the things that popped in my head as we were like talking about all of this, and I was just like, it was such a double standard. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's such a double
Yeah.
standard. But yeah, and also I was looking online, and there were moms complaining that their kid had a graduation, but they had a very strict like one ticket, two ticket, whatever policy,
Mm-hmm.
and if you had a toddler, you
You
couldn't bring
couldn't
them.
bring them in. Yeah, it happened to me too. I had a
Really?
picnic. We had a kindergarten picnic, and they said no siblings, please. But they sent that to us like maybe 3 weeks in advance or whatever when June hit.
Okay.
So I was able to get my dad to come up and stay with Milo
Okay.
to do for like an hour or
Yeah.
whatever
Oh yeah, that's
until
right. Yeah, you did
yeah,
tell me your dad stayed with him, and
yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
when the iPad thing happened.
Yes, because he didn't. So Milo broke the screen to his iPad by hitting it repeatedly with a Hot Wheels car because he couldn't turn it on, and my dad had no idea what the code was. And instead
He
of
just let
calling
him
me
hit
or
it. Yeah.
texting me, he let him hit it instead of taking it away or telling him no, which I have no problem if my parents want to step in and tell them no. Like, I'm not going to get mad at you. He
Yeah.
broke the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, like that's. But what about somebody that doesn't have family members around that can come?
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, what if your dad was still working
Yeah,
and your
I wouldn't
sister's
bother
still
him.
working?
I
You know?
it would have been one of us. It would have been both of us. And even then, like Vic went and he had to leave early because he had to go catch the train to go to work because he couldn't take the day off.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's
would have been
hard.
one of us. We have to alternate.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's hard, and we're trying to navigate it the best we can.
Hmm.
Um, did I finish? No, I didn't finish. Evening time. So evening time. Okay. So dinner, sometimes we'll do takeout. Most of the
Hmm.
time I'll have chicken, and we don't mind eating leftovers. Like I know some families don't do that. I'll make enough chicken for today and tomorrow,
Hmm.
and I'll do that. Derek usually eats the same thing. He'll eat brown rice, quinoa, um, ground turkey
Hmm.
with some avocado.
Hmm.
I don't have to think twice about his meal. That's just what it is every dinner time. And if not turkey, it'll be chicken.
Hmm.
We're not seafood people. We don't do fish. We don't really do any of that stuff. Occasionally we'll do red meat, but very rare. A lot of it's
Hmm.
just chicken,
Hmm.
turkey. So dinner's usually set. And then Derek, we have our bedtime routine. Brush his teeth. We don't give him a bath every night. He doesn't go anywhere. Like if we went to
Hmm.
the park that day, that's different. But
Yeah.
we don't give him a bath every night. But we'll brush his teeth, wash his face, his feet, all that. Put him in the crib around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Recently, he's been going to sleep a little bit later. He's been fighting us on it.
Hmm.
So if we're like, it's bedtime, time to go to sleep, sleepy, sleepy, and he'll go, "Don't do it."
No.
And then he'll go hide in he has like a teepee, like tent
Uh-huh.
in his room. He'll go hide in there. And then we'll go and we'll like crawl in, like, it's nighttime, it's sleepy, sleepy time. And he's like, and we'll just grab him and but he'll cry for like 2 seconds when we put him in the crib. And then he's tired. Like we know he's tired. He's used
Yeah.
to this routine already. And then once we put him down, Tom and I will go sit in the living room and we'll watch our shows.
Hmm.
We'll spend time together. We'll talk about like crap from the day with work, and that's our routine. And then
Hmm.
we'll be like, all right, we got to shower and we got to wash our face, brush our teeth, or, then go
Yeah.
to bed.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it. Like, obviously, we make time for each other in different ways. And whether it's a weekday or a weekend, it's different. But that's our weekday. Weekends, it's flexible. We try not to set pre-programmed things. If we do,
Yeah.
we'll remind each other ahead of time. Obviously, like when we
this.
record. Yeah. Like if like recently we've had hospital visits, we've had, like, all right, we need to go to the storage unit, swap out bins, take out clothes, like prep for vacation, all of these things that we need to like do. We'll set that for the weekend. Or if he's having a slow day at work, he'll be like, you know what? I can go to the storage unit and pick up 2 of the bins and then swap them out for the old ones. Things like that. But what works for us and what's kept our sanity, no expectations and flexible day to day. So even if we had something in mind, which is usually me, not Tom, for that day, we'll say, you know what? That's not going to happen today. And that's totally fine. We're going to scratch that. And priority for today is not going to Sephora or going to, whatever it might be that I wanted to do because I wanted to see the new Dyson hair thing or whatever. I'm going to go to the gym instead because I feel like I mentally need it. Yeah. Right. And I also feel better when I do that. So we'll do that. And like you said, throughout the day, even though we're working, memes, Tom and I will send each other, even though he's in the other room, like we'll send each other memes and like people falling and, just cute baby videos and animal videos and all of these other things or vacation destinations that we're like, oh, that's nice. We should go there. But Tom's the planner, so I leave that up to him. Like I forgot that we had vacation. We have vacation coming up. And he's like, yeah, no, we forgot. Like it's this date. And I was like, till when again? And he's like, Giselle, I'm going to kill you one of these days. You don't pay attention. That also makes this easier. I do the research for the kid things. Tom is the planner. So it's very balanced where whatever I don't do, he'll pick up and vice versa. Otherwise, if it were all on me and I'm still working, like my regular job, I would have no hair left. Like I wouldn't be able to do this. Like this is one of those things that I do for me, and he supports it. Like he allows me to take this time to record with you. And, this isn't income or anything like that. He knows I need it for me. So things like that is what allows us to even appreciate each other. And like I said, pick and choose our battles. So like there's certain things that I'm like, I can't believe he left this thing out again. Like he has like coins and stuff that he leaves. He'll take it out from like his pocket and he'll put it by where the keys are. But I'm like, you have a Ziploc bag full of them in this little like drawer that we have. Just put it there. Just put it there. But I don't do that battle anymore. You know why? Because there are things that I know that I do that annoys the crap out of him. He just lets it go. So balance is key. Compromise is key for us. We'll see what happens once Derek starts going to school. So that's why.
Yeah, that's when I want your change
feedback
again.
on what you do because it's ever changing. Like, and then even their moods are ever changing. What worked for them. He usually eats the same thing for breakfast and dinner, lunch. We have everything straight, like down. But one day he's gonna wake up. He's not gonna want to eat that anymore. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah. Start testing new things.
Yeah. So flexibility. Stop setting unrealistic goals. This is me talking to myself. And just allowing yourself to go with whatever the flow is. Because you have to. If not, you're going to go nuts.
Yeah.
And giving myself a moment to like listen to my music. That's another big thing. So sometimes Tom will go to bed and I'll stay up. And I'll either watch one of my shows that I know he's not going to be into. Like, I've been binge watching The New Girl again. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
So it's like, it's nice. If you want to watch it, people will watch it. But it's one of my favorite shows. It's one of my feel-good shows. And so I'll watch that. And like, I've been doing that because I just feel like I want to escape everything and zone out on this show. And that's what I'll do. There was another show. Oh, Working Moms. Have you seen Working Moms?
Oh, I started watching that. Yeah, I started watching that, but I didn't like get into it.
No?
No, I didn't.
But you started watching it from like the beginning or like the new season?
No, from the beginning.
It changes. like the dynamic and the characters change, because there were some moments, because I would talk to Jess about it, where I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I'm forcing myself to finish the season, but I'm not into it. But that was one of the shows that I finished the other day, and I was like, man, that was a good show. And I'm sad it ended. Like, it's done. Like, they're not doing it again. So those are the type of things that I'll stay up for, because he's not gonna want to watch that. Like, he'll sit there in the background on his phone reading news articles or whatever's going on in Russia, whatever. And I'm watching like Working Moms. And like he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed now, and like he'll get up and I'm like, all right, I love you, whatever. So we'll do that. We'll have designated times for one another. But anyway, those are the routines. That's what works for me. That's what works for you. But just be flexible. That's
I think that's important.
advice.
Flexible, not to set any expectations for things. I mean, I don't like cleaning and all that. It'll come. Like for me, with Victor does like I'll do downstairs most of the week because that's where we are, and then on the weekends he cleans up here because whatever. We're not up here at all during the day. Yeah. It's mostly downstairs, so I'll keep that as tidy as possible. Yeah, every day a little bit. Yeah, as much as I can. Because I keep thinking, you saw it yesterday. I have like a whole playroom set up for the kids. Yeah, so, that's nice. They just like they make their mess there, and I'll pick up as much as they can because the next day they're gonna go be in there again. Right there again. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They have their little tables and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it helps you, and other moms can relate. Like when I have like anxiety over the mess or something, like, or whatever it is, something that happened in the day, if I clean up and like organize things, like the toys, whatever it might be, I feel instantly better. Does that happen for you at all? Yeah. So what I did, it's like I actually just recently organized my things because I have like a dresser and I have like my makeup and stuff, and everything was everywhere. So it's like everything went there to die. Yeah, it was just so thrown in the drawer. If I got something new, I would just put it on the top. And you'd see like boxes of like stuff, and I'm like, why do I have this here? Yeah. So I went online, and it was funny because I showed Vic, I'm like, I want to organize my stuff. He was like, buy whatever you want. He slided me the credit card over, and he's like, here, just buy what you need. Yeah. I went to the Container Store. I got like a little makeup counter thing with perfumes and stuff. Like, it's really cute. It's all clear stuff. And then like for my jewelry, because my jewelry, I'm telling you, I had everything just strewn everywhere on top of the I have all my jewelry in like Tupperware. Yeah, I'm like, I had a jewelry box and it broke, and then I just never replaced it because we kept moving. I was like moving from San Francisco, LA, like I was like, I'm not a Tupperware. And then I put it in little jewelry bags, the little actual jewelry bags. So everything's in little compartments and jewelry bags, but in Tupperware. So you need to send me the link to whatever it is I'll show you what I did, but it's just so much cleaner, and just to be able to wake up, go there, get ready, whatever and be able to just grab the stuff that I need and put everything back at the end of the day. It's just so nice. It's so nice just to have everything there. And the next thing I'm gonna do is my closet, because I have so much clothes and I only wear the same things every week. Yeah. So I'm gonna go through that, I think, next, and just organize that a little better. But I think just in aspects for me, just for my things to be neat and nice, organized where they're supposed to be, I think that helps me just not go crazy with the kid stuff. Yes, 100%. The kid stuff is always going to be on the floor. It's like it's just they happens. Thrive in messes. Yeah, it's just them. It's a sensory thing. It's just them. You can't keep them neat. So, and for us, it's an overstimulation sensory it's just thing. Like, oh my God, what is all this? Like, it drives me crazy. Tom can easily just kick it with his leg and like, push it into the tent and like doesn't care. But with me, it's like I have to, like, the little blocks, I have to organize it. But he started to do that. He started to like clean out, especially because we accidentally step on these things, and those things hurt like hell. I know. Like these blocks and these little animals, like, wait till it's with Hot Wheels. I almost went flying with one of those. Like, I stepped on a freaking zebra the other day, and I saw every color like I possibly could. So that's really another reason why, like, no clutter and all that stuff. And his mom was staying here like a couple of times, so I didn't want her falling or tripping on anything. Like, that's all things to consider. But yeah, it definitely helps me. I usually
Tom vacuums and like he does the dishes and all that stuff. In our other apartments, he used to be in charge of the bathrooms. Recently, I've just been kind of cleaning the bathrooms and all that, but maybe I should revisit that conversation again and see. Because I'll do everything else. Like, and now we have a lot more space, a lot more room.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but daily vacuuming, like I'll do that. That helps, you know. But I'll do like a deeper clean, maybe like once a month. I'll do it. I just don't have the time to do it weekly, like or every 2 weeks. I'll do it once a month. But I am considering just hiring somebody to come once a month to like do it.
Help.
Yeah,
People do that.
Yeah, and you know what's another thing? We'll do laundry throughout the day. So like in between work meetings, I'll go put in the laundry, and then we'll do that. So that way it's not a big load of laundry at the weekend, you know, when it's like we want to go out, we want to go do stuff. So that's helped balance things out too. So
I did my laundry yesterday. I folded it, and it's still sitting on top of the washing machine and the dryer. But it'll get to where it needs to go.
You put it away right away?
Put it away. No.
Okay.
It's all stacked. But like with me, I don't know about you, but I know where things go, so I stack everything together, like my pants together, the shirts together, and stuff. And Vic doesn't do that. He just like puts all the stuff together when he's folding it, and I'm like, no, because then I have to go through it. I have to go through it to separate it, to put it for the kids away and my stuff away. So that's what happened yesterday. I put everything in little stacks. So it's waiting for me to just put it away.
You just boop, boop. Everything's organized. And that is why Tom doesn't do laundry anymore. We've learned to avoid that fight. That's just what it is. Sometimes he'll just go and bring it, and I'll tell him to switch it. Like, you know, just swap out from wash to dryer. But I'll do the fold and the hangers. And sometimes he's like, let me help. So I'm like, here, you're in charge of hanger duty. You can't mess up hanger duty. But then he's like, that's boring. That's the boring one. I was like, don't fold. Don't worry about it. I got it. Go watch your show or something. I got this. Don't worry about it. But yeah, flexibility, balance, routines, and certain things that are staples, right? Like we have our set routines, but everything else, we're gonna go with the flow. Yeah, we're not gonna go crazy over it, you know. But anyway, that was my takeaway from all of this. And Amy, go ahead.
What? Oh, you don't forget. You're doing a good job. Yeah. And it's okay to feel guilty if you're doing something that you think, you know, is affecting your relationship with your kid. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're not going to feel guilty, because you are going to feel guilty. I still feel guilty sometimes when I do things. Like if I go out, my mind's always sticking to like, what are they doing? Yeah. Maybe I should have stayed home. Yeah. But it's okay.
And they also don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
They're in their own zone too. And like sometimes I'll see Derek like in his own zone.
It's not like they're gonna be like, "Hey, mom, remember on December 25th you left me by myself?" No, with Dad, and I remembered. And, you know, it's not like they're gonna call you out on it. So
wait, you said December 25th? That's Christmas, girl.
I know. That's the only day I could think of on the top of my head.
They better remember. No, I'm kidding. Christmas. No, I understand. I get it. They're not keeping tabs of it. We are, you know, unfortunately, like, but they're not going to remember that we didn't chaperone whatever the trip was, you know, all that stuff. If you can't make it, you can't make it. You make up for it in other ways, you know?
Exactly. So that's important to remember.
I think finding your routine, finding what works for you, but also making sure that you're doing things for you at the same time. Because if not, like, you're going to feel burnt out. Yeah. And that's not a good feeling either. Yeah. But as always, thank you, mamas, for listening, and the dadas out there that listen. We appreciate your time, because we know time is very limited. And for those watching, thank you for watching. And we will try and figure out what we're going to do going forward, because we're going to take vacation. And so we're going to try and see how we navigate this. We're still learning. So we might take a little bit of a break. We're trying to figure that out, but we'll keep you guys posted on that. And yeah, I don't know. Amy, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it. And I think, you know, I think it works out, because I think we're both taking vacation around the same time. So that works out for us here.
Yeah. around the same area,
I
so we
know.
might have it an in-person
Meet up.
actual, yeah, maybe a clip or something. We won't do a
Mm-hmm.
full recording session, but a clip. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. You guys are doing a great job, right?
Thank
Amy,
you.
you're doing a great job. Thank you for the ideas on the sensory boxes.
Oh, yes.
Um, but yeah, give us feedback. Let us know any topic ideas. If you want to be a guest, feel free to reach out to us. We're always well. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.